Welcome back to the Barbecue Lab. I'm David Gafford, and today we're going to take an in-depth look at Walmart's Expert Grill Commodore pellet grill. It's their budget entry into the wood-fired pellet grill space, so let's discuss if it's worth your hard-earned money. Walmart started offering their own brand of pellet grill called the Expert Grill, both on their website and in store, and it's time to do a deep dive review on their Commodore unit. Expert Grill has two pellet grills in their lineup, the smaller Commodore and the larger Atlas unit, but both are largely the same grill, with the Atlas having a larger cooking chamber. We tested this grill as a part of our best pellet grill under $599 roundup that we published to the channel, and if you're interested in seeing 5 pellet grills under the $600 price point running against each other, I'll link that video here in the card and down in the description. In today's video, we're going to cover the Commodore grill and walk through all of the details on this specific grill that we couldn't cover in the head-to-head. Now, the price of the Commodore in June of 2022 is $317, both in store and at walmart.com. Now, before inflation reared its ugly head, the Commodore was available under the $200 mark from time to time, but it's rare to see it slip under $300 today. Now, we purchased our unit from our local Walmart, and we were able to buy a previously assembled unit in store, so we don't have much to add when it comes to the assembly process or the time that it took. Now, one thing I think that I'll mention here is that the pre-assembled unit was put together quickly and without much regard to the final product, because our unit has scratches from tools that were used during assembly and some dents and dings that happened before we got it home from the store. So if you're looking for a pristine grill that's put together with care, I recommend that you take your time and do it yourself for peace of mind. Now, the dimensions on the grill when it's assembled are 53 inches wide by 46 inches high by 23 inches deep. The grill is really light when compared to other units in this price range at only 116 pounds, so you want to make sure that it's secure on the deck or patio when the wind starts to blow. There's a stationary side shelf that comes standard on the unit, and that's something worth noting since not all pellet grills in this price range have a side shelf. Now, this comes with a wood grain texture embossed into the metal, so it looks better than just painted metal that you see on many other units. Now, this is the only one that we've come across that doesn't have a pull handle, so you're pulling it around by the side shelf when you need to move it around. There isn't a smokestack on the Commodore, and instead you'll find vents cut into the back of the cooking chamber where smoke is vented. The hopper on the unit can hold up to 24 pounds of wood pellets, and in case you've never seen a wood pellet before, here's what they look like. They're compressed sawdust pellets made from different types of wood, and it's important to note that pellet grills run on pellets and not wood chips. I had a friend send me a picture the other day where he saw someone return a pellet grill to the store asking for a refund because it didn't work. Now, when he opened the hopper, it was loaded with wood chips instead of pellets, and the auger can't feed chips of wood, so that's just a no-no. When I'm considering a purchase of a grill, I know that I would like to know what it's made of, the metal thickness, the grate materials, and all that and more. They matter to me. So let's take a tour of the build quality of the Expert Grill Commodore. The grill is made primarily of cold rolled steel that's painted to protect it from rust. Now, not really any stainless steel to speak of on this grill other than the handle, so it may be prone to rust if you leave it out in the elements uncovered. We've had the Commodore out in the lab for the past 2 months without a cover, and it's starting to show some signs of rust inside the cooking chamber. The diverter panel and the mechanism that allows access to the direct flame from the burn pot while cooking are both covered in rust, and that's going to be a common theme with this grill if you don't keep it out of the elements. Now, my suggestion is to always season your pellet grill before the first use by spraying down the entire cooking chamber with cooking spray, setting the grill to 350 degrees and letting that coating bake into the metal to give it a moisture barrier. Now, it's good practice to use steel wool to knock off the rust and coat with oil anytime you start to see rust holding onto your grill. The cooking grates on the grill are 17 inches deep by 26.5 inches wide. There are 2 additional racks that each measure 25 1/4 inches wide by 6 1/4 inches deep. I measured both the door and the cooking chamber metal with our digital caliper, and the lid measured a thickness of 2.11 millimeters, and the body measured 1.17 millimeters, which when translated to metal thickness means the door is most likely around 14 gauge and the body is around 18 gauge metal. There are 4 wheels on the grill and 2 locking swivel casters and 2 larger wheels to help it move easier through grass and the yard when the front wheels are lifted off the ground. Now, whenever I hear someone has purchased a new grill, the first test I tell them to run is called the Biscuit Test. You just go to the grocery store and pick up a can or 2 of pre-made biscuit dough. You just read the instructions and set the grill to the correct cooking temperature, let the grill come up to temp, and put the biscuit dough directly on the grate as evenly as possible. The goal is to simulate where you'd be cooking, so cover both the main grate and the upper rack if you think that you'll be using that space to cook. Close the lid, set a timer according to the directions on the package, and you'll see how evenly your new grill cooks from side to side. Now on the Commodore, this test told us that the grill cooks relatively evenly from left to right, but the left side of the grill is a bit hotter than the right. Now it will help you know how to plan where you're putting your meat when you're cooking, so plan on biscuits for breakfast one morning when you're picking up the new grill and give this one a go. The capacity of the Commodore is 442 square inches on the main grate and 158 square inches for each of the 2 upper racks for a total of 316 square inches. Now Walmart says the capacity of the grill is 9 whole chickens, 6 rib racks, and 7 pork butts. And I could see those fitting on this grill, but it would definitely be tight. Now I tend to take the top racks out of the grills that I have because it's hard to access the food under the rack when the rack is installed. Now, this unit's just no different. With the racks in, it's difficult to flip a burger or a chicken breast due to the height of the upper rack. Now, with the upper rack out, there's 11 inches of vertical cooking space inside the Commodore, so there's plenty of room for the Thanksgiving turkey. The controller is a Bluetooth digital controller, which is surprising at around the $300 price range. Most grills sub $600 rely on the old turn knob controller with limited temperature options, but the Expert Grill can be set in 5-degree increments from 180 all the way up to 450 for high. Now, we'll talk more about the performance of the grill at smoking and grilling temperatures here in a minute, but before we get to cooking, let's talk about accuracy of the controller when tested with a third-party thermometer. We took the ThermoWorks Signals 4-channel thermometer and placed an air temp probe in the center of the main grate and another air probe within an inch of the internal Expert Grill thermometer that the grill uses to determine internal temperature. We wanted to see if there was a difference between the temperatures at grate level and the internal probe, and if there was a difference between the internal probe and what the grill was set to. So here are the results. The red line is the grate level probe, and the yellow is the probe within an inch of the internal grill probe. They stayed within a few degrees of each other during this test, which means that the grate level and internal probe are running just about the same. You can see that in this test there was a hiccup during startup that we're not sure what happened, but we didn't open the door to intervene. The problem corrected itself, but the unit took over 20 minutes to come up to 250 degrees. You can also see that the grill got to 250 degrees and then hovered around 220 to 225 degrees for the rest of the cook, which was 25 degrees lower than we had the grill set to. Now, throughout our testing, the grill ran 25 degrees lower than what we had set it for consistently. So if you're thinking about picking up this unit, know that you'll need to set it about 25 degrees higher than you're planning for. We cooked a pork butt as the first cook in our unit, and we just used a simple salt and pepper rub to allow the grill to show us the amount of smoke that it could apply to the meat during the first 5 hours. We let the pork cook for 3 hours without opening the lid, and at the 3-hour mark, we opened and sprayed with water every hour until it hit an internal temperature of 150 degrees at the 5-hour mark. Now, here's what the pork looked like after 5 hours, right before we wrapped the pork in aluminum foil to push through the stall. Now, there's not a lot of evidence of smoke on the outside of the pork, so this tells us that the Commodore runs a really clean fire and is very consistent with its temperatures. If you want more smoke, a controller that isn't as precise and has some swing in temperature is really what you're looking for. So this controller is better for those who are sticklers on tight temperature control. Now, a hot and fast chicken was our second cook on this unit, so we set the grill to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, spatchcocked a whole chicken so that it would lay flat against the grate, seasoned it with barbecue rub, and then used the ThermoWorks Signals thermometer to keep tabs on the temperature in the breast until it hit 160 degrees internal, and here's what it looked like. The chicken took on some decent color from the grill, but again we ran into temperature accuracy with the controller. Even though the grill was set to 375, the grill ran at 320 degrees according to a ThermoWorks air temperature probe placed on the main grate. So at 375, the Commodore ran 50 degrees lower than expected, and it was the last chicken to get finished in our testing group of 5. Now, hot and fast isn't the same as grilling, so we also ran a high heat test to see if we could get sear marks on this pellet grill, since pellet grills aren't traditionally known for their ability to sear. We tested both the factory grates and a Grill Grate aluminum raised rail grill panel, which runs about 150 degrees hotter than the factory grates at the point of contact, to see how they performed. I sprayed the grates down with a little duck fat and pressed the chicken into the grates to make sure that we had good contact. After closing the lid and setting a 5-minute timer, here's what the chicken looked like. The Commodore has an ace in the hole when it comes to grilling, with the slide open panel that allows the flames from the fire pot to reach the grilling surface. Like almost every pellet grill though, the realistic grilling space over the burn pot is large enough for 2 burgers maximum. So unless you're feeding just a couple of people, it's impractical just due to capacity. The grill grate panel gave us some nice grill marks, and if you were able to put an entire grill grate system across the surface of the Commodore, you could have a grill that can put marks on meat and function not only as a smoker, but also a high heat grill. If you're interested in learning more about the grill grate system, check out the links in the description below, and we have links that'll take you to that and show you exactly what you can get for your grill. After our testing and our cooks, it was time to clean the grill, and the porcelain coated grates, they were easy to clean. The grates jostled around a bit while cleaning with a brush, but not so much that it made cleaning difficult. Grease cleanup was as easy as taking the grease bucket and dumping it into the garbage, so the only real effort you need to put into cleaning is taking the time to pull the grates off, take the diverter panel out, and sweep out all of the ash that's accumulated into the burn pot and into the bottom of the grill. Now, it's not something that needs to be done every cook, but every 2 or 3 cooks, I go ahead and take all those things out, and I make sure that the pellets can reach the igniter where pellet waste can build up and completely cover the igniter over time. There's a 2-year warranty on the grill from the manufacturer, and you can learn more about what's covered on the walmart.com website. So, exactly who is the Expert Grill Commodore for, and is it worth purchasing this grill? Now, in my opinion, the Expert Grill Commodore is aimed at the first-time pellet grill owner who wants to try out pellet cooking without committing more than a couple $100. It's an entry-level grill that has a few features that are unexpected at this price point, like the digital controller, which can set temperatures in 5-degree increments, and one of the few Bluetooth controllers under $500. Now, while these extra features are nice, it's the temperature inconsistency that troubles me with this unit. Running 50 degrees under set temperature at 375 and 25 degrees under set temperature at 250 just means that you're guessing what temperatures you think you're running whenever you're using this grill. But that's something I'd like to see updated in version 2 at some point to make this grill more reliable. Now, rust is also an issue that troubles me with the unit, with rust showing up in less than a month of us having it here at the lab. So if this is the grill for you, make sure you keep it covered and out of the elements, or you'll start seeing orange creep into the grill in just a few weeks. If you're interested in purchasing the Expert Grill Commodore, please consider clicking the link in the description below or on our website at thebarbecuelab.com. It won't cost you any more to use our link, and your purchase helps our channel keep the videos coming. If you're into outdoor cooking, please consider clicking that like button and the subscribe button so you don't miss out on new content heading your way every week in outdoor cooking. We cover the gear, recipes, and techniques that you need to win your weekend, and we'd love to have you join us as we work to help you get better every day at cooking for friends and family. We believe that life is better when we're together, and we want to equip you to be your best when smoking and grilling so you can entertain your friends and loved ones with confidence, knowing that your get-togethers will be the talk of the town. Now, if you're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or TikTok, we show you behind the scenes of what's going on here at the Barbecue Lab, sneak peeks into what's coming up on the channel, and all things smoking and grilling to help you raise your game. Now, I hope that you'll join us over there as we create a community of fearless grillers and barbecuers who are revered for their craft. I'm David Gafford with the Barbecue Lab, and I look forward to seeing you next time.